woof. All I can say is woof. Let's talk TikTok. Let's be real. If you've spent any time on TikTok, you know it's an app that you can open and the next thing you know, an hour has gone by. Please tell me that's not just me. But I've got a little bone to pick with this whole singing and dancing app here. TikTok is becoming more and more seeped in diet culture. And you guys see this too because you asked me to do a video all on TikTok health tips, weight loss TikTok videos, and really all the bizarre TikTok diet trends out there. And all of this kind of begs the question, is TikTok harmful for us? I'll give you my opinion. And a little spoiler alert here, you guys. You always ask me what my thoughts are on intermittent fasting. It's gonna be one of the topics we cover, so be sure to stick around to the end to see that. And guys, this video is for informational purposes only. This is not to be taken as medical advice, nutritional advice. If you do need medical advice for anything that we chat about in this video, be sure to reach out to your medical provider ASAP. Be smart. This is just entertainment. So the first TikTok diet trend that we're gonna talk about is apple cider vinegar. The amount of apple cider vinegar weight loss TikTok videos that are out there is insane. And the reason that people are doing the apple cider vinegar trend is because it's supposed to be touted for weight loss and for its detoxifying properties. Now, I did find one study that talked about apple cider vinegar and weight loss. However, this study was done on people who were already on a calorie restricted diet. It was comparing those who were on calorie restriction to those who were not on a calorie restricted diet. Secondly, this study was only done over 12 weeks. That's a pretty short amount of time, so we don't know the long-term impacts of the actual study. And you guys know my stance on diets. We know that they typically do not work and they typically lead to increasing our set point weight. I have a whole video on set point weight that I can link to up there for you, but basically, we know diets don't work. Even if they have that result of weight loss in the short term, our bodies, essentially their internal thermostat kind of cranks it up so that they have more energy because they feel like they're in a deficit. We know that it's not our weight that is an indicator of health, it's our health promoting behaviors. There are also some claims that it may improve cholesterol levels. However, those studies that were talking about cholesterol levels were done again on those who were already on a modified diet, so there's no clear evidence between the apple cider vinegar itself and those improved cholesterol levels. Another reason why apple cider vinegar is touted for weight loss is because it's supposed to curb your appetite. Have you guys tasted this stuff? First of all, curbing your appetite is not a good thing. Appetites are normal, we should have them, our bodies need energy. If we continually try to curb our appetite, we're going to just end up swinging from one end of the hunger scale to the other end of the hunger scale. We're going to be hangry, then we're going to end up being stuffed because when you get to the point of hunger, you're so much less likely to be able to listen to your hunger and fullness cues. We go into this primal state of hunger where we just want to eat all of the things, and that can lead to binge eating. It's a normal phenomenon. Another reason that apple cider vinegar may be tied to weight loss is because it's really acidic, and that can be really tough on your digestive system. This could create heartburn or nausea, which obvi is not going to necessarily make you want to eat. But again, that's not a good thing. That just doesn't feel good, right? So now onto the detoxifying properties of apple cider vinegar. I'll say this once and I'll say this again. We have these amazing things called organs like liver and kidneys that do the detoxifying that's needed for you. Also, some people tout that it's a really great source of probiotics, which it's kind of not. I'd suggest trying things like Greek yogurt or kimchi or sauerkraut to get those sources of probiotics into your diet because that will help our gut. There's also a lot going around that apple cider vinegar is going to help keep you healthy and keep you not getting sick. There's no clear evidence that I could find with apple cider vinegar linked to not getting sick from things like the cold or the flu. A couple things that it can do is it has been linked to improved blood sugar control for those with insulin resistance. Basically, it helps decrease postprandial blood sugar, big word for blood sugar spikes after a meal. And again, that can happen in those who are insulin resistant when they have meals with things like pasta or bread, those kind of starchy things. Also, another thing to note is that apple cider vinegar can be kind of harmful to your teeth because it's so acidic. Be careful. My stance on apple cider vinegar and why it's such a big TikTok diet trend might be more so of a placebo effect. So when you feel like you're doing something good for your body, you could set off kind of this chain of events that could happen. Maybe you start to find ways to move your body that feels good, or really start to listen to your hunger and fullness. I think it almost might be more of a placebo effect that some people experience. Just a thought. But again, you can do this without making yourself ingest a very acidic drink that might not taste good. I have a whole video on mindful eating that I can link to as well. Now, if you love the taste of apple cider vinegar, go for it. Be my guest. But I guess my point is if you have genuinely adapted to the taste, you like it, then go for it. But know that it's not the holy grail that sometimes it's thought to be. All right, you guys, the next TikTok weight loss video trend that we're gonna talk about is water fasting. No. This is so trendy right now in the holistic world. Basically, it's what it sounds like. You just drink water. No food, just water. This is touted a lot for weight loss and again for detoxifying. And to be honest with you, I don't doubt that if you were to go on a water fast, you might experience some initial weight loss because you're literally not giving your body energy. But think about the last time that you got like really hungry. Did you just want to eat like all of the things? Yeah, that's my guess is what's gonna happen here. It's going to open the doors to the restrict binge cycle. Our bodies need and deserve energy and a consistent stream of it. Some studies have been done on blood pressure and oxidative stress, but these are very limited studies. They're very short-term studies. In one of the studies, the participants were actually followed by a registered dietitian after their water fast. And my question would be what other sorts of interventions were being done there? I'd be very interested to hear about that. And again, it was more of that short-term study. And even if there are studies that may show benefits, always be very careful with research. Again, you want to look at the sample size and the follow-up. Is it a long-term study, short-term study? I always ask, is this, in this case, TikTok diet trend, is it quote unquote worth the risks? Like entering the inevitable restrict binge cycle, which is probably going to do more damage to your health than the benefits of the water fast. Is a water fast something that you can sustain for the rest of your life? I think that's a really great question to put things into perspective. Do you think that you're going to be able to fight that primal urge that your body's giving you because it's been deprived of energy? Do you think you can fight that? Science tells us no. I don't think that it's a bad thing to focus on your hydration. I actually think it's a really good thing, but I definitely don't think that a water fast is necessary, nor would I recommend one. All right, friends, the moment you've been waiting for, intermittent fasting. I mean, really, how many weight loss TikTok videos have you seen that include intermittent fasting? Here's the thing, intermittent fasting, it's not new. We first called it sleeping. Then diet culture turned it into a trend. Then, as usual, they took it to another extreme and added skipping meals. Because in diet culture world, more extreme equals better. Not true. Essentially, in my eyes, it's a fancy term for skipping meals. There are a lot of variations with intermittent fasting. Some say you fast on certain days of the week. Some give you just certain hours and it's consistent every day. There's a lot of different variations out there. Studies on the benefits like weight loss, cholesterol improvement, improved insulin sensitivity are pretty non-conclusive. Also, something really important to note is that most of the studies for intermittent fasting have been done on men or rats or athletes. And I'm not talking about going to the gym and working out. I'm talking about like professional level athletes and people who are very athletic. Not my step aerobics class. So the studies on women are very limited. And women are totally different creatures than men. We have different hormones, different functionings. We're a whole different beast. Also, a lot of these studies, again, are very short term, which if you're skipping meals, you're getting less energy. I don't doubt that you are gonna have that initial weight loss. My question is what's gonna happen in the long term? And from what we know from the outcome of dieting, prob's not what you want. There are some quote unquote dangers when we talk about intermittent fasting that I do think it's important to kind of take into consideration. It could lead to binge eating. We've talked about that one. It could lead to digestive issues if you're having larger meals, kind of overloading your gut because you only have a certain amount of time or window to get that nutrition in. You can also develop a habit of overeating because you're having those larger meals in a short amount of time. That starts to become a normal feeling for you, in which you become, like I said, it's going to become a habit. So you're less likely to listen to your hunger and fullness and develop this habit of overeating. You can have the side effect of having those obsessive thoughts of food, and it can also negatively impact fertility. I think that's a really, really important topic to touch on. It can really mess with your sex hormones and your ovulation. And restricting food too much, as you guys know, it can increase our set point weight, and it can lead to metabolic adaptation. Personally, I think that the biggest quote unquote sell in terms of intermittent fasting is that there is no or very limited mindless eating at night. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, my past self included, because we just want comfort. We just want something to do at night. And when you have that rule in place of I can't eat past X time, then you won't be having that mindless eating. But I don't think it's necessary to put intermittent fasting into play in order to be more mindful and kind of pay more attention to that. Eating at night is not bad by any means. I do it every single night. I usually have something sweet, ice cream, cookies, whatever. I have a nighttime sweet tooth and I have no shame about it. I think it's totally okay to say, you know what? I find that every evening I'm just like eating the popcorn, eating the chips, eating the ice cream, and the next thing I know, I'm just like so full. It doesn't feel good. And it's okay to be mindful of that. But when you make it a rule that you can't eat past a certain time, what happens on the days when you're actually hungry at night, or you have a craving that you just really want to satisfy and you avoid it? That's likely, again, going to lead us to swinging back and forth, or those feelings of deprivation, those obsessive thoughts. Even with some of those studies, those short-term studies, mostly done on men and rats, they do sometimes show the benefits, but again, I always go back to, are the benefits worth the risks? To me, it just isn't. So if you're thinking about intermittent fasting in terms of the mindless eating thing at night, try some mindful eating exercises. You don't need to set a rule. Overall, I hope this video was helpful in helping you understand 3 of these really big TikTok diet trends. Let me know in the comments if there are any other crazy ones that you've heard. I love hearing from you guys. And as always, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to the channel. It really does support me in making more videos for you guys. And with that, I will see you next week with another video. See you later.